Jennifer said, I just want to reach out after listening to the podcast because you all touched on something that I've been feeling for the last few months. The whole pandemic has left me with a feeling of a constant state of existential crisis. I'm 45, a single mom of 2, hates her job, loved it before COVID. I hate where I live, native born and raised here in Florida. I swore that I'd die here. The political fiasco, COVID debates, it's all left my family in a bunch of shambles. Like Jason had said yesterday, though, I believe so much relies on hope, and I feel with today's temperature of the world around me, hope seems to be drifting further and further away. I removed myself from social media over a year ago, and I thought that would help, but I hear the exhaustive vaccine mass debate and political yammering at work, the gas stations, restaurants, just so hard to escape. I'm short of quitting my job, selling my house, and leaving everything I've ever known here in South Florida and just moving, even possibly to another country. I think Jaybird's right. We can't put the genie back in the bottle, so if we can't do that, where do we go from here? How do those of us that have lost almost everything find our pre-COVID peace? I know there are so many more than I would like to admit feel this way. What are your thoughts on finding that pre-COVID peace and unity that so many need?
I love the email. I agree with you.
Yeah. I think the one thing is that it all starts with us. You control what you can control. You've got to find your own joy, your own peace. You got to find little things in the day that make you happy and realize that this life is worth living. That's step one. Bring yourself some light and some joy. And then step 2 is you be some light and some joy to other people. I am trying to leave every person that I come in contact with now better than when I last saw them. I'm trying to give them some positivity, something great to lift them up. I'm trying to make them feel better. And I think that so many of us, we've gotten to this point, and I see what it is. And boy, it really clicked to me because, I'm really in this now because, and I had been. I told you about the whole QAnon thing I was going on with my mom and the colonel and everybody else.
Fighting and no.
Yes, and you know what it is? I started looking at this. I'm like, wow, this is all just brainwashing stuff. And I looked at the parallel of this. Remember in Star Wars, Jaybird, when the Emperor is working on Anakin and he's bringing him to the dark side? What he starts with is he just starts kind of putting a little bit of a wedge. He starts finding an enemy. He's like, oh, you can't trust them. There's lies. There's deceit. And then he starts feeding in on this hate. And what I observe and what we're doing, the media is really doing this, and the way the politics are going, you find someone to demonize and they become your common enemy. The last conversation I had with my mom, she's still blabbering on with no breath about Fauci. And look, I don't know anything about him. I don't want to get into it about him, but she has a list now of people. She has hate in her because she's heard all these things. And every time I hear from the colonel, it's their names that they throw out, and it's like they're the devil themselves, these people. And what the media has done, I see all this stuff, and it's right wing, left wing, it's everything. But they find someone to focus on to hate, and then they just keep feeding your emotion of hate. Hate is toxicity, and we just keep adding hate to ourselves. We find someone to hate, and this is really how the brainwashing works. You saw it in Star Wars with Anakin, turns him to the dark side. You saw it with Hitler in World War II with the Jews. And what it is you find someone that is the common enemy that we all hate. And then you just start adding more hate and more hate and more hate. And then you twist somebody to a point, like I said, even before the COVID, my mom started to become somebody I didn't recognize. I'm just like, and we're Christians. We're supposed to be about loving people and finding God sees something great in everybody. He sees you for who you are. He sees through all your flaws. I'm like, we're losing that. I'm like, Mom, this is not what we do. We're not here to hate other human beings the way that you're talking about this. It's all negative and nasty. Start finding the positive in people. What happened to us? So for somebody like Jennifer, and I know so many people feel this way, where you just feel like hope is gone. The world is so nasty. It's on fire. It's crazy. What do? You look for the beauty. Step 1. You find the joy. There's still so much beauty and joy in there. And you talk about South Florida. Just the 3 days I took off last week, I'm at the ocean. I'm walking on Palm Beach. I'm looking around. I'm mesmerized. Every day, I'm like, this place is so beautiful.
Playing tourist.
There's so much beauty in the world, and especially in South Florida. Mm-hmm. And that's step 1. Find that gratitude. Find that within yourself. You'll start feeling better. Disconnecting from all the toxicity, plugging into the beauty of the world will make you feel better. Step 2, try to make other people feel better. Go out there, empathize with them. Find something positive in them. Try to leave them better than when you found them. And slowly but surely, you start pushing back against the darkness. Be the salt and light. Go out there and shine.